let it go for a second. There's like a higher melody that comes in, and then I bring it down. That's where I take it down. And then I start talking. This is iHearIC Radio. I think this is the 123rd episode of this that I've done.
1, 2, 3, am I right?
Yeah, you got the lucky 1, 2, 3. It used to be a live radio show I did in Iowa City on KRUI, the university station. And it was about local music in Iowa City. I'm sort of bringing it back as a monthly feature on the Rock Hard Caucus podcast feed. And since Rock Hard Caucus is like a statewide thing, we cover politics around the state of Iowa and cultural events and all that kind of stuff all over the state of Iowa. And I'm in Des Moines now for the state fair, so I'm going to talk with some people who are in Des Moines. They live here. I'm in their house. And I parked at their house earlier when I went to the fair because they're nice and they let me leave my car here for a while. But they're musicians here in Des Moines. And what order should I introduce you, do you think? Or I could just point at you and make you start talking. Why don't you go first?
I'm Matthias.
I'm Jancy. I'm Kaylee.
All right, we got Matthias, Jancy, and Kaylee. Are you guys in a band together?
Yeah, we play in Haploid together.
Yeah, that is the story.
Yeah.
There's also Dave, but he's in Indianola and could not be present tonight, so shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
Go Dave.
I've seen Dave play. I don't think Dave and I have ever had a conversation.
Oh, you will get cornered by him if you do.
If you get started, it will not stop.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next time I see you play, I'll grab Dave and make him talk to me.
Oh, yeah. You'll get some tweaker stories. It's a good time.
He is a chatty Cathy, but yeah.
All right, so in Haploid, Kaylee, you play guitar.
This is true.
And you're the vocalist.
Yes.
Jancy, you play drums, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, Matthias, you play the synthesizer and other related
I got a pile of keyboards and stuff, so yeah.
He's a machine.
To start off, haploid is like a science word, right? It's a scientific concept.
Yeah, it pertains to genetics, and I'd go into the nuances of it, but I don't think it's really that exciting. But so it's kind of funny because Matthias and I actually tried to do a project I want to say maybe 2018 or so. We were in like our old practice space, and we were going to do a sludge project called Haploid, where I played drums and he played guitar in that. And then I always liked the name. That thing never came to fruition, and I just kind of hung on to it. It was like, I will have something someday called Haploid because I love it so much. But yeah.
When did Haploid, the band that does exist, when did that start?
Late 2019, early 2020.
Yeah, super around.
Well, it was when I moved here, which was January 2020. We had a couple months of it being just normal. I'm getting back on the drum kit again and kind of getting my feel for what we want to sound like, and then March of 2020 happened, and then
what happened?
I'll something crazy. Since we were all in a household, we were still able to get together and jam and whatever. But Dave wasn't able to be present, although he was very much a part of Haploid. And we would send him tracks that we were working on, and he'd come back and send us what he was doing, and we would just kind of flop around. He'd have to come in with a mask and all that stuff. But starting everything 2020 was interesting. I think our first show wasn't until summer of 2021.
Yeah, that sounds right. It was
if I'm not mistaken.
The trans benefit show.
It was Iowa Safe Schools.
That was it. Yeah.
But yeah, we've been going since then.
I think I'm getting a little bit of weird noise from maybe your phone being. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It sounded like some sort of wireless interference somewhere, but
I'll move mine too.
Whatever.
Just to be sure.
Mine's in my pocket.
Maybe it's that dead cicada.
Yeah, that might be doing it. Yeah, it's got some.
That's for the ambiance.
It's got an ancient spirit in it. That's sort of.
It's our replacement for the coffee table book. So we have
coffee table bug.
Yeah, we have a coffee table cicada.
Yeah. Okay. Describe to me the music of Haploid. Are there genre terms that you use?
Man,
there's genre terms that other people use.
Yeah.
So,
maybe, how do other people describe it?
Oh man, we've been called about everything.
Yeah.
We've been called goth rock before. Factual,
Interesting.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have picked that.
That I thought was a stretch. prog punk was what Factual Brains was saying. What we
our buddy Kobe referred to us as just pure psych, which was a new one. Like, I love psychedelic, but I would have never just...
Yeah, I don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
It's interesting listening to what other people have to say about what we sound like, because it's hard to like identify with a concrete genre, because I don't know, we just have fun with bouncing around with other, all different influences that we have. I think this latest like album that we're working on right now has really like solidified our sound. I still don't know what to call it, but it's definitely Haploid. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like so our new album that's hopefully coming out late October, maybe November sometime. Don't really know 100% yet. We're still recording it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of elements of prog. Like, I'm really into Yes and Rush and King Crimson, blah, 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 But then there's also some like cool like post-hardcore and like post-rock elements, I would say. One of my like favorite bands is And So I Watch You From Afar. If you're familiar at all. Okay, well, they're like, they're from Ireland, and they're like, they're awesome. They are like post-rock, like math rock type stuff, and they're just super pedal worship, which is like, I love that stuff. So, but yeah, we enter a lot of really weird territory. It goes from kind of more proggy to like, we have one song where there's like just crazy like IDM electronics going on, which like...
This is on the new thing?
The new one that we're recording, which is going to be titled Villains Amiss.
Villains Amiss.
Yeah. Came to me in a dream. I don't know.
Does that mean anything? Villains Amiss?
I just like
a nice
I just
phrase.
like how it
Nice
sounds together. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. There's like some motifs, I will say, like as far as like lyrically wise, that there's a lot of things I allude to just about like wanting to put the blame of just all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world just on somebody. And it's so like there's a lot of
a scapegoat.
Yeah. So like there's a line in Fourscore Insectivore that's like, it's so hard to wonder now who is the villain. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of just like an ongoing thing. And I never even like when we were writing these songs, I didn't have that in mind. It just like everything that I started putting down on paper, I was like, all of these songs are different, but like everything that's coming out of me like has a similar message, I guess. I don't know. And it's just my headspace that I'm in.
The message is blame someone.
Yeah, the message is just like, why are things so
Name your enemy.
Up? I don't know if I can swear on this, so I'll try to remember. Okay.
I mean, it's your choice. You don't have to, but you may.
Fuck. But it's perfect. Yeah. But yeah, just like, I mean, I feel like there's just a constant state of like, I mean, I have my own anxieties, but like everything that's just been happening since like last couple of years, it's all coming to a head, and it's just really weird being a human being, So that's kind of like lyrically wise, I feel like I kind of tie things together with that motif. So
there's been a lot of problems and not a lot of solutions to anything.
Yeah,
just sort of continues to be a problem, and it just sort of fades into the background for some of us. I don't know, but just the complete lack of resolution and closure to all of the ongoing crises.
100%.
Yeah. Well, maybe instead of just reading the tags here on your Bandcamp, we could maybe listen to something. Is there like a good example of what you guys do, you think?
From Cope, maybe? There are things you can do, maybe. That one gets a lot of plays, I've noticed.
Yeah, that song is so weird to me because I literally like wrote it in my head while riding my stationary bike. Like all the lyrics like literally came out. I got done riding my stationary bike and wrote everything down in like 2 minutes. And
this is one bike ride.
Yeah. And like
there are things you can do, like ride your stationary bike.
It's a list of things you can do.
The riff was one. I don't want to like, I hate the word like easy, but it was like a riff that's like, it's one of probably I'd say our least taxing and complicated songs.
We wrote that song so fast.
No, it came together
like,
really
quick.
It was
like, I kind of had like a stream of conscious, like I was thinking of the tone of like Mets. Like they're
the baseball team.
No, the noise rock band Mets. There's kind of I was kind of listening to them when like I had the riff in mind, and it's just like a bow, 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 because they have some stuff that just kind of has that similar vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a song that like we just threw together so fast, and it's just so weird like how well received that song is. I was like, okay, if this is what people want to hear, I don't know. It was just, I feel like we've put a lot of effort into a lot of other songs, like racking our brain on like putting pieces together. Cause a lot of our songs are just like, we'll come up with like a bass line riff and then
What do you think the hardest song was to write on Cope? What do you think the hardest song was to write on Cope? Like, which one did we fight the most about?
Arc of Delete was the one we were writing and recording at the same time.
Annoying because we were like, we gotta put Cope out, and it's like,
well, we always got one song that we're half finishing while recording.
Yeah. Which Arc of Delete's another song too. That's our. It's kind of more of a shoegazy song.
See, and that seems to be more challenging for us.
Writing slow stuff.
Yeah, that's
just writing stuff that you don't like. I don't know. I'm so good at overthinking things, and I always push myself to make a beat that I don't quite know how to do yet. I don't really see it as my strong suit, but it's always just what I do. So like at the end of the day, like Arc of Delete's an easy song, but like just getting there and just like accepting, just having like a nice. Because that song's like towards the end of the album, I think.
Arc of Delete is actually the last track.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I fucking love that song.
Well, before we get too far, we should still play "There Are Things You Can Do."
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Okay. Let's dive on in.
Yeah. Let's listen to that, and then we'll talk some more.
Sure.
All right. So here's "There Are Things You Can Do" from the album "Cope" by Haploid. And if you're listening to this podcast, you want to find Haploid. It's haploid.bandcamp.com. The O in Haploid is a 0 in the URL. So hapl0id bandcamp.com. You'll find it. You'll find it. There are things you can do.
There are things that you can do, and it's you so despise when there's no one serotonin, and you need to compromise. Are you drinking enough water? You should spend some time reflecting. Maybe try a little yoga so you can say I'm just rejecting. Wanna take this medication? Have you tried this exercise? Have you called the chiropractor? Have you been anesthetized? 'Cause you're not feeling. You're not feeling. You're not feeling. You're not feeling. There are things that you can do, and it's you so despise. When there's no more serotonin, and you need to compromise. Are you drinking enough water? You should spend some time reflecting. Maybe try a little yoga so you can say I'm just rejecting. Wanna take this medication? Have you tried this exercise? Have you called the chiropractor? Ever been anesthetized? 'Cause you're not feeling. You're not feeling. You're not feeling. You're not feeling.
Is that still us?
Yeah. This is still the same song too.
I forgot
You trigger at the end.
how goofy we got with those sequences in between there.
And then there's the drum was counting you into the next track.
For the
but
next one, yeah.
I cut it off. So kind of anticlimactic with the
I love those secret
count in.
snippets that are
Feels
put
so
in at
long
the end.
ago now.
it left us a nice space for me to fade in the tracks again, so we
It
can
clicked
talk.
you in, yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly kind of like a straightforward song. It's just like a 4/4.
Yeah.
So I can see why people connect with that one. It's kind of easy.
and it's short for us. Like
Also, 3-minute song.
Yeah, we don't generally go very short with our songs, which is like never on purpose. It's just like there's times we're just having way too much fun. We're just gonna keep playing. So
I mean, there's people maybe it's easier to listen to a short song, obviously.
yeah, attention spans and all
It takes
that.
less time.
Wait till they hear our new one.
Is that the one that you were playing live?
Yeah.
last time I saw you?
Yeah,
it's
we
about 20 minutes.
It's about 20 minutes.
I mean, it rocks. It was fun.
With the intro.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm never like, I'm when I tell friends and different people around me, they're like, "Oh, you're recording?" And I was like, "Yeah, we have one song that is 20 minutes long," and they're like, "What the hell?" Like, I don't have the attention span for that. So I'm like,
You just
well,
have to tell them it's like
sorry.
3 songs.
Yeah.
But it's just
I
like
mean,
you have to
it's
listen to them all
got
together.
sections.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it, like 5 or 6 if you break it down?
Yeah,
You
we-
get all Rush
I mean,
Roman numeral
We've only
on
played it live, I think, 3 times now.
There's a video of it too.
Yeah, we played it.
The first time we played it.
Played it at
To be the
XBK.
YouTube one.
We played it at XBK in November last year, and then we played it at Gabe's. Which
Yeah, I
you,
saw that
You
one.
were there.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
God,
we played it. We played
Roz.
it at the Roz Talks at the Hayes Noble
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's the one my friend David went to, right?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
David Clark. I meant to talk to him more, but I was just in the
Yeah, no, we
throes
bumped
of
into him quick for a second.
like
but yeah.
packing up our stuff,
Yeah,
trying to
for sure.
trying to make room for their huge amounts of amps. So, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that I told him about that show and that he could make it. 'cause
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I figured he would like it because he's also a prog rock enjoyer.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
when we were kids, he was always my friend who was like showing me like weirder and weirder stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This ain't your Ma and Pa's Jethro Tull over here. Like, yeah.
Yeah, the 20-minute song, does that have a name? That thing?
Fourscore Insectivore.
Yep.
Fourscore Insectivore?
Yeah.
Okay. And insectivore is something that eats insects.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And fourscore is something Abraham Lincoln said.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it sounded cool. Like,
Do you want to explain what that song's about?
I didn't really catch like the lyrics when I saw you guys
yeah,
play
the
it.
lyrics are weird as per usual. I don't intentionally do that. It's just whatever's on my mind at that given moment. But it's loosely about a Venus flytrap who is becoming like super self-aware and no longer wants to be a Venus flytrap.
Oh,
and is
interesting.
tired of being the killer of things around it and is like, I would just rather die than cause any more harm.
Okay.
So
You say it's weird, but that's like that feels like a whole story. That's
it
like
sounds like it's weird. Like,
well-crafted.
yeah, it's just one of those things. Like for me to talk about out loud, it just is more strange.
Sure.
Like when I actually describe it to people, I'm like,
Sure.
damn, okay, why did I do that? But all right, here we are. So
Yeah, I feel like I'm like incapable of like writing lyrics.
I'm sure that's not true.
You've seen the music that I do though. It's,
I'm like,
it's just I don't even want to write music. I just want to make sound.
you don't have to.
Yeah, that's the thing I learned. It's like as soon as I figured out that I didn't really have to write or prepare anything, I was
The
like,
improv
why should
community is so much
why should I
fun.
ever do
Jim
that?
and
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm speaking for both of us, but yeah, we're also in a project called Saren,
Right, yeah.
which Jancy was in that for a little while.
Yeah, I step in when I need to.
Yeah, it's
but,
just kind of
you
like
know,
it's kind of a revolving
it's like-
door.
it's a collective.
Yeah, I would like to
just kind of
say
who's available at the time.
Yeah.
we're a revolving door for anybody who wants to jam. We've had Bob Bucko play with us
Yeah.
at the Gas Lamp, R.I.P.
Oh yeah, that recently closed.
That's
its
you were
doors
talking
for
about
good.
Bob for a second.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
oh no.
No.
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah. Oh my God. No. Jeepers. But
I think he's going on a tour like right now. I mean,
Yes.
isn't he always?
Yeah,
It
with
doesn't
the-
matter. I can say that whenever.
Sex, Funeral, and Heavy Gratitude going out together.
yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that Ghost Canyon Fest looks super cool.
But yeah, we are super big into improv as well. And I think that's what's really fun about Haploid too, is because a lot of times we use the power of jam to get things done sometimes. And then whatever sticks, we just make sure, Dave.
Okay, you use it as like a compositional tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes
Yes.
it doesn't
I
hurt
like
to
that
jam on
wording.
something for a bit, see if you can noodle around and find something in there. But
And Dave records even stuff that we've had done for years. He still records anytime we like run through a set. He always has his phone out and records it.
I think he's the best at rehearsing out of all of us.
He practices like an hour a week at least.
Yeah. He's definitely a fan of documenting every given moment of anything that we're doing together, which is awesome. But yeah, but like
It'd be
I said,
good like in 50 years when you're making a documentary.
50 CD box set.
and it's so funny, and it's so funny because this guy Dave, he does not have social media and never has, but like, yeah, it's like the constant like I'm recording the set. It's almost the equivalent of like I got to take a selfie every time I go to this particular bathroom or something, you know. And it's like, it's funny, but yeah,
I kind of have that impulse, but then I get like if I forget once to record, I'm like I'm not doing it anymore ever again. I missed one, and now it's over.
Yeah,
no more recording.
It's over. I get it. Like
the momentum's gone. Yeah.
bye.
It's like going to the gym, you know.
Yeah.
That one time,
Exactly.
you're done.
Yep. Once you once it's no longer a habit, then it's like I don't know how to do it anymore. Fourscore Insectivore, when I saw you play it at Gabe's, I didn't realize it was one song or one piece or however you classify your music. But then like something would come back and I'd be like, oh, are they still, is this like the same song?
Yeah.
See, it's kind of like at least me and Kaylee were super influenced by Yes is Close to the Edge, and that ends up, you don't think it's, you know, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is a different song, and then something comes back again. You're like, oh, yeah, like, okay, this is still the same song. Yes!
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of the main big thing. We're like, want to come try to do that? Let's see if we could write a big song like that.
Yeah, not trying to
Ambitious.
like verbatim like copy, yes, because like I can never be as good as Steve Howe. He's one of my like favorite guitar players. But
I
like,
can't even play keyboard near that.
oh
that
my
stuff's
god,
crazy.
Yeah,
but one can
crazy
dream. But yeah, it's always funny though because like I've never thought like I'm very competent as a musician. I'm not classically trained. I don't know how to read sheet music.
Yeah.
But like multiple people now, like the one that hit me the most was like some random person in the crowd at Roztalks, like when we were tearing down our gear, he was actually like, are you a Yes fan? Because your guitar playing reminds me of Steve Howe. And I shit you not, I had to run to the bathroom because I was crying because I was like, oh my God, like that was like so nice. And like, wow, I still don't believe you, but thank you for that kind compliment. I'm not good with compliments. I just don't know what to do with them.
I think there is a clear like influence there. Like I can hear that you like Steve Howe's playing. Yeah.
Well, during the pandemic, I actually I've always been a fan of 70s prog, but like during the pandemic, obviously we all had a lot more time to like explore things because we had a lot more time for that. So that's when, those albums really hit me a lot harder. So, but yeah, it was always like back to, not to get too much on a tangent there, but yeah, that's what kind of like influenced us trying to do something like that. Was just like, there's it's not a verse, chorus, but there's definitely like still, it's still kind of there, so it's different enough that it doesn't feel like, this 20, I don't feel like it ever, hopefully doesn't slog at any point. Like I want it to be a slightly like challenging listen. Like I want to challenge somebody's attention span, but I also want it to be like, still have some poppy elements where people are like, okay, like this is cool, like you know what I mean. So
that does help a lot with like a little bit less accessible music to have just repeat something even once. Something that someone can grab
I
onto.
think in any music there needs to be just a slight hint of repetition. That's not like for for every genre, but
I have an incessant need. I know that we dovetail on all kinds of different things, but I do try to make whatever we do just a little bit dancey. Like I need some kind of like, I don't know. I get into my pocket on a beat and it's like, all right, people need to be dancing.
Yeah. I mean, there were times when I saw you play, it was like, oh, this is like disco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because I mean, we talked about how, it's hard to like talk about like what genre you are, but like, you can hear that there's all these different like influences going on.
When
like,
Haploid first started, like it was funny because I personally had it in my mind, like I wanted to do, so Dave and I were in this other band called Nostromo that were active for about 5 years, and then with like just the Vaudeville Muse closing down, and our drummer was in a couple of different projects, and we just started practicing less and less, so that was kind of,
I think it just kind of like lost momentum.
it lost momentum. Like we had something, yeah, it's fine, but yeah, I always knew, I was like, whatever I do next, like I want Dave, because he's one of my best friends. And like, I was like, I love his bass playing. There's nothing really like it. Like he does some of the craziest stuff on bass. Like he's great. And I was like, I want to do a synth pop band. I want to have something completely different than what Nostromo sounds like, because that was kind of my wannabe like sludgy stoner rock thing is what we've been compared to a lot. I don't
Sludge
really,
pop, I think
it was
one of them.
Yeah, it was a super fun time, but yeah, I always like, I want to do something completely different. And at that point, I was listening to a lot of Trust, which is like a goth like post-punk project. And I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could do anything like that. Long story short, I could not do it.
Yeah, so like we lost our attention span trying to write pop music. Like
we're like, there's a few songs on our first 2 EPs that
like
definitely have, like, there's one particular song called Plague, which was like our effort to just make a catchy
that was
kind
literally
of,
just the first song we wrote.
Yeah.
Just kind of seeing if we could like write stuff
we were
together.
trying to see, like, we wanted to write something hooky and dark and industrial with 9 Inch Nails vibes and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah. And as we started jamming more and more, we're like, we can't force ourselves to like try to do this. And then we just started writing what came naturally, and it is what Haploid is now.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people with different tastes, combining them together to make something I feel like is, I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of fun. I don't know if everybody enjoys it, but I have a lot of fun. So that's
I
the
hate
important.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you at least all have fun on stage?
I
pretend to.
Most shows are fine. I do struggle with having to play someone else's drum kit.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Or at least
You played like 3 different Vista Light
sometimes
kits this year.
and I'm not used to it, and I don't think I'll ever be.
What did you say?
She's played like every show we've gone out of town, like,
The
and she
old-
borrows
the
a
old,
kit.
like,
It's a blue
super-
clear Vista
It's always
Light
like
kit.
a super nice, like all matchy kit, and I don't feel comfortable.
I'm like, how does everybody have
I'm
a
used to
clear
my-
blue Vista
Right.
Light kit?
I'm used
like,
to my
Caterwall had
Frankenstein
one.
kit. Like
Hayes had one.
where are
and
these kits
Good Morning
coming
Midnight
from?
had one.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
that's
so aesthetically pleasing. Everyone.
yeah, unfortunately, because we're a 4-piece and we all have a decent amount of gear, like I've tried to cut back, but it's still like my twin is great, but I do like having an extension cab with it just to like push a little bit more air. But yeah, it's been one of those things. We don't have a touring van, so we usually have to
Pick a car.
Pick a car. We've had our Kansas City show that we played, which was
with Kaleidoscope.
yeah,
Yes, they were
that
fun.
was
I love
so
them. Yeah, they were so good.
freaking fun. I loved it. I was so sweaty, and
Were
it was
they,
great.
Were they like a full band for that show?
Just a 2
okay.
singer
'Cause
and
they started out as a duo, and then they had a full band sometimes. But
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. They were a 2-piece, and they were awesome. It was great.
Dreamus was so good too. That was such a good night.
That was a really fun night. It wasn't necessarily like the most attended show we've played, but we're kind of used to that. And honestly,
Didn't matter to me at all.
It didn't. Yeah,
No,
when
everyone
we
was
started
super
playing,
nice. It was good.
everybody that was there, like, I'd rather have like 4 people be there and be like actually enthusiastic than play for 50 people who are like on their phone
Well, it
and
was-
like, not paying attention.
Yeah.
So
It was one of-
I'll take it.
It was one of those environments where like people were there to see music and not just to drink, because it's like they had like a water pitcher for just
Well, it
so
was
people
like
are
an
hydrated.
art space more.
Yeah,
So,
it was
yeah.
at Howdy.
And I absolutely love that. I wish Des Moines had more of that.
Wish we had any of that.
That was such a good night because everybody was attentive to like each
yeah,
set.
no, it was
and,
good. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, just good chats and everything.
But the reason I mentioned that show is because we ended up taking 2 cars down to that, which
Well, yeah,
It's
we had
a
to bring some
pain.
PA stuff since I got synth stuff. And
Yeah.
rely on a lot of low end. So if you go
Okay,
somewhere
yeah.
and it's just a little tinny PA, we're kind of screwed. So
Oh yeah.
stuff will be missing.
so maybe someday we'll have a vehicle that we can, if we ever, do more shows out of town. But
it's hard. I mean, you don't.
I don't
make
like
any
being
money doing stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's
No,
hard to
definitely not.
It's hard to buy a van off of that.
right,
off of those
right.
gigs.
Where's one of those Ford Econo lines that everybody's talking about? You know, come on, man, break me off a piece.
Just a casual family van, please.
Yeah, please. But yeah, I hate being the person to be like, can I use your XYZ? Because I know how annoying that can be because I've had that happen to me.
Yeah,
but
I believe we borrowed one of your amps for that show
which
last
was
summer.
totally
yeah,
and like
so
I don't
annoying. God.
I don't mind at all.
Actually, that was because we had limited space too, driving over
Right.
from Iowa City.
Yeah.
right. You know,
No, no.
when you're on the road, you know, you got to keep it minimal sometimes.
When it works,
So,
it works. It's always an interesting challenge, I guess, for me because I'm so weird about like my setup. And like I remember when I was at Rod Talks, the sound guy was like, "Yeah, you're kind of a nightmare." Like the way I said,
really?
the way I was, like my setup was like kind of just like, "Oh damn!" Like I don't know.
What's so unique about
I have God, I do an 8-inch tom that's hooked to my crash cymbal stand.
Okay.
And I have a recent installment where I have a 10-inch right next to it that has its own stand. Well, it's long-winded story. We had this vintage wood Ludwig. It was Kaylee's that you had from years ago that we fixed up. We got new legs on it. It was like one of the like the collapsible legs, and we did all this like refinishing and like fixed it all up. And we've struggled to find like a good mount for it. So I've just resorted to. I finally found this really shitty 8-inch like roto tom sounding little Mapex tom. I ended up having to rig that onto my cymbal stand, and then I have a 10-inch and then a floor tom. Everybody that plays my kit has a lot of fun with it, but it's kind of interesting because then when I play out, I put my Roland electronic pad on that mount. It's always like flip flopping things around. I'm used to it at this point just because my home kit is so wonky, but I love it.
Yeah, and it's just not the standard, you know,
Right,
rack tom
right.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah. It's goofy, but it's mine.
So something that I wanted to talk about while we're here, you also run a record label.
A little tape label, yeah.
Yeah. Do you call it 5cm or do you say centimeter?
A 5 centimeter
Okay.
usually. It's just
I figured,
abbreviated
yeah.
for the logo.
Yeah.
So,
5 centimeter recordings. What? How long have you been doing that?
we started it up, or I started it up basically when we got here in town in 2014 because we are originally from Dubuque. Me and Kaylee got together 2012.
That's how you know Bob, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we were playing in like a kind of a crappy proto Haploid called Winterbeard with some other people there. And that's how we met, and Bob ended up...
Is it Winterbeard or Winter?
Winterbeard.
Okay, cool. Not that it matters.
No.
A
It
band
was
that doesn't exist anymore. But
It was kind of like... It's literally what Haploid was trying to... Or we were trying to do Haploid, but 10 years ago and with different people. Like, I had a keyboard and was trying to play guitar at the same time.
Every
and
song was based around Independence Day,
Yeah.
the Will Smith film.
it was a mess, but that's how
We
we met.
literally
And
had
we
a
met
sample
Bob.
of "Welcome to Earth."
Yeah.
Oh, the Queens of the Stone Age riff song.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
only a little bit related to that. At the fair earlier, I saw a guy wearing a shirt that was the movie Speed.
Just the shirt?
Speed shirt.
Did it have
Okay.
piano on it?
Yeah, it was like the cover of the movie.
Okay,
Is that where I do my
Yeah.
Bob and Tom laugh? Sounds better on the mic.
It's good. Yeah,
why
let me turn it up.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, it's what a strange show. Did you like grow up listening to that?
Oh,
yeah.
My dad listened
yeah.
to a lot of Bob and Tom.
Yeah. Our dad was, if you didn't know already, we're sisters, just in case any of the...
We didn't say it on mic, but
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And that Kaylee and Jancy are sisters. Matthias is not one of their sisters.
but I'm married to Kaylee.
Right, yeah. We didn't establish all the relationships at the
We
beginning.
are?
A family band.
Oh my God, you were basically the Brady. You know. Yeah. So,
Except for Dave.
yeah, Dave's just the outlier. Like,
No.
Yeah,
Dave's my dad.
true.
Not her dad.
But not yours.
We haven't
You
been.
are full sisters, but you have different dads. Or you have an extra dad.
It hasn't
maybe?
been explained on like Murray yet.
He's my band
but
dad.
we're working on it. Yeah. Yep. Where was I?
Yeah,
and Tom?
establishing. Okay, we could talk more about Bob and Tom, or we could go back to the.
Okay, yeah, we all met. Okay, we were in Dubuque for a bit, then we ended up going to Milwaukee. Then after about a couple months in Milwaukee, didn't really fit, so we ended up coming here to Des Moines, and I kind of started a tape label at the time and just was releasing my own like electronic stuff. Well, I used to play in a project called Underwater Escape from the Black Hole, which was kind of vaporwavy stuff. I had a pile of gear, and
It was very good.
it was fun, but I hated all that
I
gear
loved it.
stuff.
I loved it.
yeah.
It was so fun to yeah.
But I mainly released my like solo stuff on there, and then odds and ends. Kaylee's old band Nostromo.
Yep, there's a couple of those on there. I'm looking at the Bandcamp page.
Nice. Yeah, there was lots of like oddball local stuff that I just thought was kind of cool, and asked if I'd be like, hey, can I put out a tape for you? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did something with Moscow Puzzles on there.
Yes,
Yep.
love those guys.
Oh,
Those guys
yeah.
are so good.
We
They're
love you, Moscow Puzzles. Hey.
Yeah, I met Tony before I knew he was a musician.
Yeah, because he's like
dang.
He was doing politics.
Yeah. Is he still doing that? I think so.
I think so.
Because he was in like Atlanta or something
Tony,
for
we're
a bit.
talking
And-
about you if you're
Yeah, he was in
listening.
Atlanta.
Creepy.
Was that last year?
Oh, I think it was right around that big. Oh,
It was the
whatever.
2021 special election, right?
That thing. Yeah, he was down there for that.
Yep, yep. He lives really close to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
he's a nice guy.
Stalker.
I look at his house from my house.
Hello, neighbor.
And yeah, I didn't. I never confirmed this. I did a split on your label
Yes.
recently. How do you pronounce the name of the person I did the split
I'm
with?
pretty sure it's just Toothless Galore. That's a
Toothless?
It's like a
Toothless.
Oh.
It's like a Greek
Toothless.
name, right?
It sounds like I almost thought it was like Teton, like like the old Germans,
Yeah.
like TEU, but Toothus. I don't know where he gets the name from.
TEUTHIS.
But that's James. He runs a label called Orb Tapes, also
Yes,
that
right.
does pretty good. Like
Right.
he's a super cool guy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've only just like read the name. I never talked to him or anything, so I didn't.
Well, he like contacted me about doing a split with him and this Dairy Moans guy who I think runs Bad Cake Tapes or something like that. But then
Nothing like some bad cake.
But then, like, James sent me his half, and he's like, okay, this other guy should be getting a hold of you. And it was like months, and he never got a hold of me. He's like, do you know of anyone else who could just kind of get on this with me? So I want to get this out. I was like, yeah. So, yeah.
and there I am.
Here we go.
I happen to have.
You
Yeah,
were
I
a
had
good backup, JC.
I'm glad to be a number 2 for this. But yeah, I just happen to have a couple of solo saxophone live recordings that I hadn't done anything with.
It's always good to have some backup recordings. You never know.
Yeah, someday someone might ask you to be on a split.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to have a contingency plan.
Just have, a couple minute recordings. Oh, I got a little something.
You know, that's the thing. Like Dave likes to record everything that you guys do. I try to record at least every performance I do.
That's fair.
And then maybe someday I'll have something to do with it. I want to maybe play something that you've released on the record label. You have any favorites?
Let me look.
Okay.
What do we got
Play
on
something from y'all's split.
Yeah, I could just do that, but
there? Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Who will play the shortest thing off the split, which is the first track, Toothus Galore, Teutis. I don't know how to say. Toothus Galore, Dram of Eye and Hollow.
Dram.
It's the first track off this split.
That's what it feels like to
between Toothus Galore and Justin K. Comer. So if you like this, you might like the whole thing. There are tapes available. I've got some at my house. If you're in Iowa City and you like this, I've got tapes at my house, so come over. And they're only $5 tapes. That's what you're selling them for, right?
Yep.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So yeah, this is what I say, Dram of Eye and Hollow, track 1 by Toothus Galore. That one stops abruptly. Oh, Sycophant Waltz started, but
I love that.
we're going to save that for later. Not today.
Oh.
If you want to listen to it, you're going to have to find it yourself. That was a dram of Iron Hollow by Toothless Galore off of the 5-centimeter recordings split with myself.
My love for horror video games loves that so much.
Yeah. There's kind of a... Well, there's a lot of strings in it. There's like a... It sounded like a violin sample. There's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's like samples, and he runs it through a bunch of pedals, and just
Spooky.
twisting some knobs.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Disgusting strings. I love that.
And there's that classic like noise thing where it sounds like a loose belt on your car that comes in.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
At the
I
end.
hate when that happens.
Just like sort of a screechy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, always love that kind of stuff. While we were listening to that, Matthias, you were petting this cat a lot.
Oh,
the cat's
yeah.
kind of rolling around.
Miles bugging me a lot. He wants some attention. Watch out.
Yeah.
He'll try to eat some cables.
Yeah.
If you let him.
He may eat your foot as well. So
Yeah. You got a few cats that live here.
He likes-
have you always been cat people?
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've always been like an animal person in general. Like I work in the vet field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always grew up with dogs.
We
and
grew
cats.
up with dogs, cats, lots of strays, just kind of always around. I had some lizards as well.
I had a turtle.
Yeah, she had a turtle
Well,
named Jello
a
Biafra.
Russian tortoise specifically.
Yeah,
named
Russian.
Jello.
Yeah,
yes.
sorry, it was not a turtle. It was a tortoise.
He was on the land.
Yeah.
One time
Yep.
we wrapped a balloon around him and put him out in the
Oh, I do
outback,
remember that.
so
We were
make
timing
sure we
him to see how fast he
Yeah.
could go.
kept track of him with the
We could
balloon.
keep track. No, he did not fly away.
And he loved spaghetti.
He did.
Really?
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
With
true.
the sauce.
Yeah. He was a marinara type of guy.
How did you find that out?
I dangled a noodle upon his tank, and he took
We've
some
gone
bites.
from Prague to
Turtles.
turtles.
Yeah.
Tortai.
There's a new Ninja Turtles movie. I don't know if you
I'm
all
actually
know.
really. I actually kind of want to really see that. The animation looks
I'm
really
going to
neat.
see it for sure.
It
Yeah.
looks like, what, Spider-Verse? That sort of
It's very
stuff.
Yeah.
reminiscent
Yeah.
of that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's really like oil painting y, but like claymation
The
y
choppiness,
also.
like,
Yeah,
frames
it
per
looks
second.
cool.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barbenheimer yet?
No. I don't know. I do kind of feel like Oppenheimer would benefit from a huge screen and a huge sound system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to see that in theater, but I would need to like go to like the earliest showing because I'm really bad at movies over 2 hours.
Right, and that's about
This is
3.
true.
right?
Like three and
it's mainly
change.
people talking in rooms, so it's
Yeah,
pretty.
I was
We'll
really
probably
surprised when it
have a
came
hard
out.
time.
If you're familiar with any Terrence Malick films, we went to his latest, A Hidden Life, in theater, and Jancy tagged along and fell the heck
Oh, it
asleep.
was so comfy.
That movie's
Like-
so slow, though.
Yeah.
It was a very nice, pretty, comfy movie, and I had a nice little nap.
Wow.
Yeah. Love Malick, but yeah, he's like too comfortable sometimes.
Oh, he's
I'm like,
nap time
dude,
most
you
of the
need to
time.
have a murder or something happen in the middle of your
Love
movie.
Barbie.
I know,
Get the momentum back.
I know his name. I don't really know which movies are his.
Oh, he did. Tree of Life was one of the newer ones. In the 70s, he did Badlands, and there was something else.
Yeah, Badlands. Oh my. This is turning into a movie podcast
It
now,
can be,
just
yeah.
so you know.
I mean, we're all... I don't plan this stuff out, you know? It's a natural conversation.
It's I don't know. Malik's super slow. Lots of shots of
He's
trees.
like Americana, the director.
no,
But like better.
no.
But like better though.
No.
Sorry.
Well, he did a
Anybody
war
who's-
movie, and like half of it's like shots
No.
of trees and stuff like that.
Shots of what?
Trees and stuff
Okay.
like
Like
that.
just-
So
Just
lots
slice
of the
life.
ocean just.
Yeah, just a lot of slice of life. Yeah. Like is he American?
Yeah.
Okay, he's like more of an American, like Ozu, the Japanese
Yeah.
director. He's gonna disagree, but that's like I get similar vibes with Malick that I do Ozu. That's just me.
Yeah, when my dad would bring me to school in the morning, like Bob and Tom was always like the only thing that's on the radio. So like
Look at Larry.
Yeah, I would say the Orange Barrel song.
Orange Barrel.
Orange
barrels. Orange barrels.
I
the
never
beer
really
run song.
liked it. I don't know if you were like.
Well, I remember a job that I had that it was the one station that I could tolerate because it was like classic rock or whatever.
Eagle 102.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But it was Bob and
100.7
Tom.
The Fox.
It was like Bob and Tom until like 8 or something like that. So I like to spend my first 3 hours of the day like, I just can't wait for the music to come on.
Yeah.
I don't care about
listening to them play their like recorded bits and just laugh their asses off at it.
Sensible chuckles. Often insensible. Yeah.
And then she's my cherry pie.
Right.
God.
Exactly.
But that's better, I guess. I guess. Question mark.
Yes, right on 8 a.m. at the dot. She's my cherry pie.
Yeah.
Cool drink of water. Such a sweet surprise.
Start my first break off right.
So we talked a little bit about. Now my mic sounds distorted. Whatever. We talked a little bit about like the beginning of Haploid and
Oh, yes.
a little bit of what you were doing before that. But I often like to talk to people about like how they got into music at all.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, Kaylee, you said no classical training or anything like that. Like
No.
when did that interest spark?
So man, I don't know. So like our dad played in bar bands and like paid the bills with that actually prior to my conception. And always had guitars around. And
Always had music around.
there's
in general.
always
Yeah.
music around at our house. Lots of vinyl, lots of punk rock. Like our dad, he's your kind of hapless country guy. Like he comes off as like a country guy, but he's actually really into the Cramps and the Ramones.
Psychobilly.
Yeah.
Psychobilly
Is that how
stuff.
you ended up with a tortoise named Jello Biafra?
Well, see, no, but he wasn't really into political punk. He didn't love that I got into that
Oh,
stuff.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
More like surf punk stuff.
Yeah. More Dick Dale.
This is
influence
also
stuff.
This is also a side note.
The Ventures.
Speaking of Jello,
Yeah.
Yes.
do you know who Rick Stewart is? He ran for governor as a libertarian last year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
We ran into him at the fair, and I was like interviewing
my.
him, and he made a joke about the dead Kennedys, and I thought that was so like out of nowhere. But anyway, your dad was into like Dick Dale,
Yeah.
king of the surf guitar.
Yeah. He was always, there was always music around, and there's actually like a photograph of me when I'm like maybe 2, I think.
2 or
where
3.
It was like
I
2
know the
or 3
picture.
where I'm a baby in like a onesie and my dad's acoustic guitar is like on me and I'm like, heckin' yeah, like this is great.
Well, it looks right.
Yeah. But so when I was about 11 years old, I decided I wanted to play drums. And our dad was like, no, because that's going to be super obnoxious and I don't really want to buy a drum kit for you in case you decide like I actually don't like this at all.
It's a big commitment.
And so it was actually probably my dad's responsibility to, I think he was, well, not responsibility, but it was his response to me being interested in music at all was like, why don't we get you a bass? And so
Did you say what he played in his bands?
he played guitar.
Right, so that's why he had a guitar for you to take a picture with, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's okay.
I think he had like a banjo too. Maybe.
Yeah, there was
Wasn't his
always
thing,
there
but
was
yeah.
always like a banjo and like your occasional like old ass violin with missing strings hanging out. Like I don't think I ever saw him actually play it, but we always had like antique like instruments hanging around.
But anyway, if he gets you into bass, then he's got a bass
there's
player
the local Dubuque
on hand.
Yeah, no, the local Dubuque music store, which is still thriving
Uncle
awesomely.
Ike's.
Uncle Ike's. Hey,
so good.
hey,
Shout out.
They had a rental program, and he rented me this like Sunburst PV jazz style bass, like knockoff Fender bass. And in like 2 weeks, I was like, smoke on the water. Like, yeah, this is great. And just like learning like Ramones and like just simple riffs and stuff on it. I think I was really excited when I figured like the Ozzy Osbourne, like, I was just so excited by that.
The first song you ever wrote was
called
Was
Tuna
Crazy Train.
Casserole.
was Tuna Casserole, but there was also Cream Cheese Drive.
Cream Cheese Drive. we're not going to go into this.
That's okay. But like, learning songs, and eventually started.
Like, how old are you talking when you did that?
Like 11,
Okay,
12.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just fucking around.
And I was just tagging along.
So I rented this thing. It was like super cheap to just rent this bass for like 30 days. And then I fell in love with the bass. And so my dad was like, okay, we're going to keep renting it. And then that following Christmas, my grandma Janice got me that same bass, but red instead of Sunburst. And I still have that bass, but it's living at our parents right now. I should probably take it back home.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will get rid of it.
But I played that bass until I was like about 13 when I was like, I need more strings. And so I decided, like, I had started messing around on my dad's telly and was like, you know what? I actually think I really want a guitar. And so then I got my first guitar was like this Les Paul knockoff Washburn.
Okay. Yep.
And yeah, and then I started just like figuring out like I can write music on this thing, and like it just kind of clicked. And then when I was old enough that I had some like it was coming close to like graduation time, I bought my first drum kit. And it was like this little cheap Ludwig kit. And then, so I guess I should backtrack. So like we had Rock Band, the video game, which we were messing around with. And like, Jancy, you like always played the drums on Rock Band.
Well, I just started playing the drums because the guitar was boring as hell and you always wanted to sing.
Yeah.
That was what it was. And I think my musical, like, just timeline was kind of dovetailing off of like, the desire to want to be a part of what you were doing a little bit. I always had more of interest in like drawing and painting, like that sort of like outlet. And I think I needed something more that was more physical, something that peppers. It was just a different outlet that I think that I craved. So it worked out really well. So I get really, really good on Rock Band playing drums. That's literally like, it's such a silly story, but that is how I learned how to play drums.
I mean, the drums in that game are like the closest to a real instrument.
And then
I know other people that have learned drums starting that way.
And then you had the kit around, and then I started playing, cause you were playing with it and I'd play with it. And then, we just started jamming.
Yeah, I decided, I was like, I don't care if this is going to annoy anybody. I want to get a drum kit. I had a buddy that lived in the area, sold me this freaking Ludwig kit for like $250. And I literally, had to like, I sold a pedal I did something weird to like have the money for it. But anyway, oh no, it was my graduate. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever. Got this cheap kit, took it down, and I got it for me, and Jancy started playing it and just caught on like so much faster than I did. And I was like, you know what? Just you take it.
We still have
It's
some of
fine.
the pieces from that.
Yeah.
Like my hi-hat stand is from that kit still.
Yeah.
I believe. And then Scamp was born.
Yeah. And then like, we had a 2-piece project called Scant. It was a lot of fun. Didn't really play a whole lot of shows. We played a few times at like the local venues in Dubuque. We played in a Milwaukee basement.
Nice.
Y'all
And we played
here
at
in
the
Des Moines.
vaudeville, and we played at the Vaudeville Muse.
That
and
was our last show.
That was our last
Yeah.
show, and
Yeah.
it was with Fetal Pig
When
and The Seed of Something.
When would that have been?
2013?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I was
2013,
16.
summer 2013.
Yeah. So, R.I.P. Vaudeville Muse. I'm glad that
Yeah,
we got
another
to
dead
play
one,
it
yeah.
at least one time. And then at that point, like Matthias and I were deciding like, we were going to move to Milwaukee.
Yeah, y'all moved, and then I kind of fell off of playing music. I just didn't. I moved out, and I didn't bring the kit with me, and I just you guys moved, and
Just kind
I
of
moved.
like lost interest and just like,
When
yeah.
you said you were like 16.
yeah. I
in
mean, like
Scamp, so
I was high school doing high school stuff.
That's
Yeah.
graduating high school is the time to stop doing
It's
stuff.
a whole right. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But yeah, we only lived in Milwaukee for like less than a year, and it just kind of went south, and there wasn't like a whole lot of, we just, didn't have like a lot of stuff that we could do there, which is crazy because it's a much larger city, but we just did not like really fit into the quote unquote scene there. I don't know if if we would have been in different circumstances, it would have been different, but yeah.
I don't know really anything about Milwaukee. I was just there. But
My memories
Lots
of it.
of punks. Or at
Yeah,
least when we
there's
were
a
there.
really, really good punk scene there.
Yeah.
Punk and hardcore is king, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like a lot of other things going on there. I kind of don't, and I don't really follow it as closely anymore. But yeah, there's something going on everywhere.
Oh yeah,
But,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's
But-
kind of like why I started doing the show, was like to highlight like
Yeah.
stuff is
What
happening
is going
here
on?
What's going on in
Iowa.
Corntown?
Yeah. yeah.
But yeah, we ended up, it was just kind of like a natural move for us to go from there to here because we didn't want to move back to Dubuque. But we wanted to like go somewhere that was like moderately still big-ish.
Sure.
And I have
Compared
some
to Dubuque,
family,
at least.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like I have my aunt and some cousins like born and raised here, so it was like, well, we'll at least have a little bit of a support system when we go back somewhere. So, yeah, and that's just kind of how we've been since. And then 2020, Chancy, you moved here, and then we
Yeah, I finally got the fuck out of Dubuque.
started playing music together again, which was like amazing. So
We didn't
You're
really
a good
cover
drummer.
Matthias. Like, how did you get into music?
Oh geez, I ended up probably getting into music like 2002, 2003. Ended up watching like old Fuse and stuff like that back in the day, or what was it, Much Music USA something?
I think Much Music is like a Canadian thing.
Okay, well,
But if there was a USA, I
Well,
never
there was-
saw it, but I don't know.
it was like on TV, or at least the
Yeah.
satellite that I had, and I
Okay,
remember
yeah.
seeing like bad new metal stuff and getting into it. Like, I think Linkin Park and some other butt rock stuff was like
Yeah.
some of my first CDs. But
Yeah, right on.
I ended up like picking up a guitar because I had a buddy who was super into oddball stuff in high school, like Ween and Mr. Bungle, and
Yeah.
just ended up picking up some oddball stuff from that.
I wish I listened to Mr. Bungle in high school.
It was something. Well, he was always into Ween, Mr. Bungle, and Nirvana, and that's about it.
Sure,
It was a
yeah.
strange combo, but whatever works. Ended up kind of playing guitar and stuff like that with him, self-taught, like looking off tabs and everything. Then was in bands all throughout high school and stuff, some shitty Dubuque metal bands. There used to be a big Dubuque metal scene like 20 years ago, but yeah, everybody's old now and found Jesus.
Did you find Jesus?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm still looking
Looking?
for him.
he might be out there,
Still
but
looking.
Maybe he's you. You are JC after all.
That's true.
I mean,
I do.
Holy shit.
Hold the frickin' phone. We
Is,
are in the room with Jesus Christ himself.
And Christ's middle name was Klaus. I don't know if you know that. So there's a JK
With a K,
in both ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you are JKC, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh,
That's why I made up Jesus' middle name.
Oh.
Just that was mine.
the joke.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Speaking of butt rock, did you have a Come Clean by Puddle of Mud? Did you have that?
No, I did not.
Oh, no.
I might have had a stain CD. Don't
No, but
say
our-
shit.
you can be my saint.
No.
Listen, no, none of us did, but like our mother did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jody, our mother, love
Was it
her.
she
Shout
big into
out.
Godsmack and Disturbed?
Wow. Yeah.
She, our
She
mom-
was all over the place.
Our mom
but yeah.
was responsible for like, I love her like 80s taste. Like I listened to a lot of Blondie with her.
Yeah, Blondie's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, Talking Heads. I feel like
XTC.
XTC. Yeah, a lot of really awesome 80s stuff is.
Blind Melon.
Yeah, Blind Melon. That's like not even related.
They're
Okay,
like a 92 band.
Shame.
Same thing.
That Melon's reading Braille over there. But then she had this streak where like I'd come home from school and she'd be just blaring Godsmack
Wow.
and Disturbed. Just I come home and I hear, you know, just like, dude, calm down. Like you had a bad day at work. I'm so
That stuff
sorry.
was really big there for
That was
a
the
while.
era.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was okay to
Aggressive.
like that.
Yeah.
I have definitely like a new metal streak in me though. Like
yeah.
I love Static X. We
Yeah,
all know
yeah.
this.
I don't know them well, but I mean,
Wayne Static
The-
Yeah,
is God.
You
The
hear
division
one
of
song,
them.
you got it.
Yo, bullshit. Love Corn.
I've never been super into Korn. but-
That's okay.
That was one of
But I
my
mean-
gateway bands.
Yeah,
I had a
I
couple
can't
Korn
say-
CDs and a DVD.
Can't say
Yeah.
anything bad about Corn.
the scat stuff kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
And
I
then,
get
it's
it.
like-
fine, but it's-
And then System of a Down
Yeah,
was
obviously
like
they're
a high
awesome,
point
yeah.
in my high school time.
Mud
Like,
Vein.
okay, yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have like an extended cut of the Dig music video
Ooh,
on
it
DVD.
might
Yeah,
be
it's like
somewhere around
living
here.
over on our shelf.
Yeah.
I think what you got that for me for my birthday, and it was like $1, or was it 69
Well, it was
cents?
just something I found. I'm like, Kaylee needs this.
Yeah,
and
it
also
wasn't a
I
want.
need it.
It was a
Well,
like
it's a making of the music video, which
And
is
it-
I see.
and it's
Interesting.
like outtakes
also, like-
of the
and
making
also, like-
of it, and it's so
It also like
goofy.
freezes and skips. It's like not a great copy.
It's classic. Sorry,
but
our
it's-
cats are jumping all over the shelves right now and distracting the
They're all
heck out of
running
me.
all over the place. They're like
Yeah,
mad that we're like on a podcast.
yeah. They're like, I want to be interviewed. Meow meow.
Cause a conniption.
I will poop on your shirt. Okay.
So yeah, I think we should wrap this up. This has been fun.
yeah.
It's been nice
Sorry.
getting to know you guys a little better.
Yeah,
you don't
thank-
need to apologize. I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying we've been recording for an hour, 3 minutes, and 49 seconds,
Okay.
which is
That's-
like
okay.
That's a little bit.
pretty good.
Time is ticking.
So before, I want to end with maybe another track from Cope. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a good thing to close on. But before we stop talking, do you have anything coming up that you would like to make people aware of?
We're playing at XBK with a band
Juna?
called Yes, them. I don't remember the date.
Say that again.
Juna.
It's
Juna.
with the D.
October 4th.
Yep,
That-
October 4th at XBK, spelled DJUNAH. I almost forgot how to spell.
And they are amazing.
They're amazing. We played a festival earlier in the year called Caterwall Fest up in
I saw
Minneapolis.
pictures from that.
And it was so much fun. It was a really, really fun experience and connecting with a lot of different kinds of bands. It was predominantly kind of more of like the noise rock vein,
Yeah.
which I felt kind of like a turd in a punch bowl at times because I feel like we definitely, I have a noise rock influence. Like I'm a huge Shellac and like Jesus Lizard fan,
Yeah.
but I feel like we stray from that path considerably. And when we started setting up our gear there, the eyes that we got setting up since were kind of funny. But Juno was one of the bands that played that fest. And they're awesome. 2-piece, and they sound heavy as shit.
Yes, please go.
Yeah, it looks like tickets are only $15 in advance. So October 4th.
Well, we're not
XTK.
officially
Check it out.
announced, but on it. But
We're
on it.
We're on it, but we're not on it.
Yeah, I guess
We're
your
around
name-
it.
You're not on the page.
We're
but
adjacent to it.
We'll be there.
You heard it
Either
here
way.
first. This is the
We'll be there.
announcement exclusive.
I'll be there. If we get called off, I'll still be there. I let you know.
Yeah.
Anything else going on, or should we play something? From Cope?
That's about it.
That's all we have.
We're
Concretely,
recording.
but-
Album should be out by the end of the year.
Yep, we're not going to stop writing anytime soon. Yeah. As all local bands say, big things coming.
Big things coming.
Big
Yeah.
announcement coming soon.
Coming soon. We're gonna
Can I play on the new album?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
In fact, we've already asked you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it on mic.
Yes.
Yeah. Which track is a good closer? You think? I could play Archive Delete since we talked about it earlier.
Let's do Until I Seek.
Sure. Sure. Which we did play that one at Caterwall Fest. So
Yeah.
big things coming.
All right, Until I Seek Repose. That's what we're gonna close with, and that'll be it for us. We're not gonna talk again. So,
Awesome.
Dang it.
So thanks
I love
everyone.
talking.
Yes.
Thanks
you,
again for
Justin.
having us.
Thanks for
Yeah,
listening, everybody.
thank
you to my friends in Haploid for talking to me.
It's
for
been
this.
great. Excited to have your.
I don't usually get a
Brass.
microphone, so I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
they just leave you in the corner.
Yeah.
You have to yell across the room. Hope the other mics pick you up.
Hello!
All right, Until I Seek Repose from the album Cope by Haploid. That's haploid.bandcamp.com. The O in Haploid is a 0. Remember that. You can find it. It's easy to find.
Just try.
Woo.